Hey there, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here, joining you from the newsroom on this very cold Tuesday morning. So cold that we did hit freezing in several spots, including Gulfport, and some locations were even a little bit below freezing this morning. It is going to be a beautiful day, but we're really not going to be warming up too much by the afternoon. High temperatures may even struggle to get out of the 40s. And just a heads up that overnight tonight, there's a good chance that we're going to be seeing a hard freeze with temperatures in the 20s. So let's dive into the forecast today. It's still going to be very chilly and even a little breezy at times throughout the day. Not as windy as what we had yesterday, but we're still going to keep a wind out of the north and northwest, and that will keep some cooler air in place. Despite all the sunshine, we're not going to be warming up too much. By about 2 to 3 o'clock this afternoon, we may be hitting the low 50s along the coast, but several locations may stay in the upper 40s later today. And even though we've had some clouds here or there this morning, most of the day is looking like it's going to be full of sunshine. Now, if you have plans to take your boat out today, you may want to wait until the end of the afternoon and into the evening. Even then, it's still going to be a bit choppy. But this morning, rough conditions expected. We still have a small craft advisory in effect until noon today. Winds will start to subside a little bit more by the afternoon. That's why we have winds going from 20 knots to 10 knots over the Sound. Same can be said offshore. Up at seas offshore this morning still could be as high as 10 feet. So just a heads up there. Again, small craft advisory until noon. That's going to change into a small craft exercise caution once we get into the afternoon. As for the tides, well, we've already passed low tide this morning. High tide is going to be coming up later this evening and even past the sunset for Biloxi and Bay St. Louis, even for Pascagoula as well. Sunset is still just a few minutes after 4 o'clock. And our water temperature has dropped quite a bit from what it was yesterday. It was in the mid to upper 60s yesterday. Now it is in the upper 50s. And it makes sense. It's been very cold this morning. So it was cold this morning. We had temperatures close to freezing. Heads up, though, that overnight tonight into Wednesday morning, it's going to be getting even colder. We're looking at lows along the coast, even south of I-10, in the mid to upper 20s tomorrow morning. So if you have any exposed pipes, it's a pretty good idea to wrap those. Make sure your pipes are protected tonight, in addition to people, pets, and plants. That's even more important. But if you live in Stone, Pearl River, George counties, you have a better chance of reaching the mid-20s by early Wednesday morning. So even more important that pipes are protected along with people, pets, and plants. It's going to be a hard freeze pretty much across the board. If there's one nice thing, though, it's not going to be as windy tomorrow morning. The wind chill not as much of a factor, but actual temperatures are more so going to be in the 20s by Wednesday. Now, this morning it's still pretty breezy outside. Look how much colder we are compared to this time yesterday, roughly about 20 degrees colder. And some spots are just barely above freezing, even as of about 8:30. We're at 33 in Gulfport, 32 at freezing near Moss Point, Pascagoula, even Keesler Air Force Base sitting at 34. And the wind is still making it feel a little bit colder. Looking at some of those temperatures a little farther inland, we're still in the low 30s. Lucedale, last we checked, a little bit below freezing. We're right at freezing at Wiggins, Perkinston. So still a very cold start, despite seeing some of that sunshine outside. It's not really going to be warming us up too much today, but overall the afternoon is looking beautiful. So we've got winds out of the north and northwest. That's keeping us very chilly this morning, or just downright cold. Last we checked, we have a wind chill of 23 in Gulfport, and at times the northern part of the state today had wind chills down into the teens. So it's not just impacting us, obviously. This is going across the southeast today in a good portion of the country. And I'll show you some of the temperatures and wind chills that the lower 48 have been seeing this morning. So satellite showing some passing clouds. Looks like those are going to be moving out of the way pretty quickly within the next hour or so, I would say. We're not expecting any rain today. In fact, we have high pressure that's moving in from the north and west. That's ushering in that cooler, drier air. We are on the front side or the east side of this area of high pressure. We get clockwise flow around high pressure. So based off of our position, we are still under that northerly wind, and it is still going to be fairly breezy going into the afternoon. So even with all the sunshine, this area of high pressure keeping us in that northerly flow, and that's keeping us on the cool side. Let's take a look at the current wind chill, though, across parts of the country. It's still pretty brutal up into parts of the Midwest. Wind chill of -4 in Chicago, 6 in Cincinnati, 16 in Memphis. That's not too far away. Seems like LA, Miami, those are the warmer spots right now. But across the country, it is definitely feeling like winter today with the wind chill in the teens. In terms of actual temperatures, they're more so around 10 degrees or so in Chicago and Minneapolis, but the wind definitely having an impact. And along the Gulf Coast, we are close to freezing, 24 in Memphis, 28 in Atlanta. So the cold blast has been impacting parts of the deep south as well. And again, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, it's looking even colder. Could even see some upper 20s closer to the coast. So I do recommend protecting pipes tonight. Maybe open up your cabinets, let some of that warmer air move in around your pipes, wrap any exposed pipes tonight. People, pets, and plants certainly need to be protected as well. So tomorrow, it's New Year's Eve. We are starting off very cold, obviously in the 20s, but by the afternoon, it's going to be warmer than what we have today. We're going to be more so in the mid to upper 50s by the afternoon. Another nice day expected with lots of sunshine. So at least we're wrapping up the year with some pretty nice weather, although it will be a little bit on the cool side. And it's not going to be quite as windy tomorrow either. So all in all, December 31st looks like a pretty nice day. And if you're going to be celebrating that evening, I have a pretty nice forecast. It's going to be fairly typical for this time of the year. We are looking at temperatures by the end of tomorrow evening dropping into the low 40s. Some spots could be dipping into the upper 30s by the time we bring in the new year on 2026 at midnight. If you are going to be out and about, rain's not going to be a factor. The sky will stay clear. Fairly calm conditions are expected. I don't foresee the weather being too much of an issue if you're going to be out late tomorrow night celebrating, ringing in that new year. In terms of temperatures the rest of the week, we will kick off a warming trend beginning in January. So Thursday, that's New Year's Day, we're going to be in the low to mid 60s, which is closer to normal, average for this time of the year. Even by the weekend, we're looking at high temperatures in the 70s. Seems like these cold snaps that we get, they just don't last too long here along the Gulf Coast, and that's certainly the case with this one. By Friday and Saturday, upper 60s, low 70s. Chances are we're going to keep some of that mild air around as we get into Sunday and even Monday of next week. And in general, really looks like the pattern throughout the first week of January is going to be warmer than normal. We don't really have any other big cool downs on the horizon. Some parts of New England may be a little bit cooler than average, but looks like across the southern part of the country, we may be seeing a ridge of high pressure begin to build back in. And that's going to lead to warmer than normal or average temperatures. So the cold snap that we have right now, fairly short-lived. The first week of January looks like we are going to be seeing some warmer than normal weather. And all in all, I don't have a ton of rain in the forecast, at least throughout most of this week. Our rain chances are pretty slim. That 30 to 40% you see there Friday and Saturday at this time looks to be maybe overnight Friday and into Saturday. Hopefully that's not going to be impacting too many of your plans if we get the rain overnight. Could be a few thunderstorms, but at this point doesn't look like a big washout. We are going to see a quick moving low pressure system just to our north. So Friday and Saturday, especially Friday night, that's going to be our best chance of seeing some rain in addition to early Saturday morning. By Saturday afternoon at this time, it looks like things are going to be fairly dry, and your weekend plans on Sunday are also in really good shape. By Sunday and Monday, not expecting any rain whatsoever. So the main story over the next 24 hours is going to be that hard freeze overnight tonight into Wednesday. That's why you see that cold alert there with temperatures dropping into the 20s. I do recommend protecting pipes in addition to people, pets, and plants. Tomorrow is looking warmer than today. Not warm by any means, but we're going to be back into the upper 50s along the coast. Your New Year's Eve evening forecast, pretty good shape. We may see temperatures close to freezing again by Thursday morning, but that will be short-lived because for New Year's Day, we're going to be in the 60s, and that really kicks off our warming trend heading into the rest of the weekend and into the weekend. And beyond Thursday morning, don't really have any freezes in the forecast. Temperatures are going to stay well above freezing. You can see there with lows in the 40s and 50s. And if you like the warmer weather, you're not going to have to wait too much longer, especially by the time we get into the weekend. It's going to be warmer than average at that point with those highs back into the 70s. So time now, 8:46, 8:45. We will be having our midday newscast coming up on ABC at 11 o'clock. I'll have another update on your forecast, your New Year's Eve and New Year's Day forecast. If you're going to be out celebrating, we'll have the latest news as well going on in South Mississippi. So we hope you join us for midday today. If not, we will be back on at 4 and 5 o'clock.